Another day, another Space Communicator. We have just finished session E1.6 about communication at large scale here at the International Astronautical Congress in Milan. And I was honored to see a presentation by you, Chiara. Can you introduce yourself and the topic that you just presented?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Chiara Limardi, and I'm an Italian space politics researcher. I'm affiliated with SJAC and also with the Italian Space Agency. And I presented my research on how millennials and Zoomers perceived the astronaut meet related to the Artemis Accords. And I just kind of laid out a few strategies on how communication related to the Artemis missions could improve this millennials and Zoomers vision on the topic.
Why did you specifically pick millennials and Zoomers? And can you explain to people really quickly what that means?
Millennials and Zoomers are the Generation Y and Generation Z. So millennials are born are those who are born starting from 1989 all through 1996. Zoomers are those who are born in 1997 all through 2012. I'm a Zoomer. I was born in 1997, and so I felt like this topic was particularly personal in a way. At the same time, working at the Italian Space Agency for a while, I realized how there's kind of like a miscommunication among generation who love space, but love space in different ways. And so I thought it was important to kind of like reconnect.
And I think that's an important notion because that's something, I'm Generation X.
Okay, yes.
I'm way before those timescales that you just mentioned. Let's not mention the exact year, doesn't matter. But the way we communicate across generations is different. And we don't always realize that.
Yes.
So the fact that I'm filming horizontal
Yeah.
is already a sign that I'm outdated in a way. But for my audience, this works.
Yes, but I think it's also kind of like it has a vintage vibe, kind of like
A vintage vibe. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, guys, this is a vintage vibe. I love this.
No, I mean, but it's nice because it's your way of doing things, and also for communication, I think having adding a personal touch is really important. Even the astronauts, by adding their personal touches to their way of communicating with their audiences, they kind of create some kind of magic. I assisted to the astronauts press conference yesterday, and there were the two Japanese astronauts, and they were so sincere, they were so honest with us, and they were so nice. I felt like it was kind of heartwarming for us to listen to them because they were so encouraging to us younger generations, and so I think that's the right direction for space communication in general.
And that's what you said in your presentation is for these newer generations, this personal connection is important because they don't really care about the big picture. They care about how things apply to themselves and how they can relate to things on a very personal scale.
Yes.
So how does that work and how can communicators, like myself, like astronauts, like any professional communicator, do that? What is the trick to reach those younger generations?
Yeah, so I think basically relatability is really important, not in the sense that you have to say that you like the same things that you think that millennials and Zoomers like. Relatability is more like being very personal, having personal interests and also showcasing your life choices, because what we look for most of the time is inspiration. Our world is really complicated. We were born in a really strange world compared to the world when you were born. And so I think that having some kind of inspiration, like, okay, I'm not gonna do the exact same thing that this person did, but they did their thing really well. So I want to be like them in that sense. I want to be like, for example, productive, or I want to be inspiring. also, or I want to be curious for what concerns space. Curiosity is really important. So I think that for astronauts in particular, showing their curiosity and maybe their life, their ordinary life, apart from what they do as scientists and as engineers or as, professionals.
Okay, but you
It's really
mentioned that
important.
as a point that
Yes.
you make it personal, show that you're
Yes.
human, show that you, I don't know, do the dishes in space instead of
Yes.
just doing all these scientific experiments, things like
Or maybe
that.
that for women, our hair gets really problematic in space. I mean,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I think like millennials and Zoomers kind of differ in the way they use social media, or better, in what social media they use. For example, millennials prefer Instagram over TikTok, while Zoomers generally prefer TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but whatever. But I think that creating some kind of, especially video content, it could be brief, it could be a YouTube video about daily life in space, or maybe why people decided to go to space, but in a very personal way, in a very non-teaching way. Could be an answer.
So
to
be a normal human,
just
like
be
you and
someone
I, we
like,
talk
yeah,
about our lives
exactly,
and
exactly.
just
Yeah,
jump
just
in.
having a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Just
yes.
having a conversation about normal things. Okay, that's cool. Now let's bring this a level down.
Okay.
Because you talk about the specific tools. Is it the same across all cultures as well? We talk about generations, but
yes,
do
okay.
these same tools work all over the world?
So in my research, I analyzed the US, Italy, because I'm from Italy, so I thought it was fitting. Japan and India, because I graduated in comparative international relations, focusing on East Asia. So again, it was fitted with my personal knowledge. And I found out that while the millennials and Zoomers kind of use the same social media all around the world, the way they use them and how much they use them varies. For example, I think for Italian Zoomers, people my age, people all through, let's say, first years of the 21st century, people from these who were born these years, I think they prefer Instagram, because it's like they know Instagram really well. We saw Instagram being born and then growing up, let's say. But then younger Zoomers, they love using TikTok, and I taught English for a while to a 14 years old girl, and she couldn't really stay with me mentally when I taught her, because she had the TikTok attention span, let's say.
15 seconds.
Yes. So it was really difficult for me to get her to love the language.
Yeah. But
But yeah,
is that
that's
generally
it.
true? That because we tend to say that, and
No,
I'm critical.
I think it's really,
I'm
again,
not sure
once
if that's
again,
true.
we are really individual-centered generations. So again, you can't really generalize what we do, and you can't generalize how we think also, because, for example, yes, we have day-to-day centered values, generally speaking, but for me, I love the big picture. So it's really based on the individual, and it's really important to think about this.
And that is what makes this discussion so difficult, because you
Yes.
can't generalize a generation, just like you can't generalize a country or a culture,
Exactly.
because in the end we're all individuals and we all have our different preferences. Yet, for communicators like the people who are watching this video,
Yes.
like you, like me, we have to realize that these things exist. And if I stick to this video is going to be posted on LinkedIn,
Okay.
probably the younger generations might not see it. So if I want,
Yes, I don't really like
No.
LinkedIn.
no. Plus, this is way too long. I mean, we're way beyond the 15 seconds now.
Yes.
We don't sing, we don't dance. There's no cat or dog.
We're not proposing our knowledge in an indirect way. Like, we're not making it aesthetic. We
No,
love
not at all.
aesthetics,
Yeah.
so my generation loves aesthetics. So yeah, I don't think we're really making it aesthetics, despite my suit being the same color as the seats in this room, but people don't see the seats in this room, so.
I only see it now, but okay, yeah. No, okay, but that's good to know. So aesthetics, make it personal, individual. Very cool. These are very, very important lessons. Where can people find information about this research? Is this available somewhere?
Well, you can contact me, actually. Despite not using it really much, I'm on LinkedIn, but so I will answer you.
Okay.
You can just search my name, Chiara Limardi, and I'm there. And I have you can ask for my contacts over there, or I think through IAF, I think you can.
Your
can
paper
reach
is
me.
available in the
Yes,
digital library as
absolutely.
well,
Yes, yes,
so people
yes.
can find it there. No, very interesting and important insights into communication. So thank you. The key message for me is really simple. It would fit in a TikTok video. Is when you communicate, you have to consider the differences between generations.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yes.
15 seconds. And that's the lesson I learned.
An excellent TikTok video.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should start using TikTok. But
Yes.
to me, that's important because it was sort of an eye-opener. Because I do try to reach everyone, but I know now, and I've had discussions with colleagues of yours and other people here saying, well, the way you do things may not relate to all generations. So that's the key lessons that I learned. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because that is so important that people of my generation and maybe communicators in general don't always realize. So thank you for your
Thank
insights,
you. No,
Chiara.
I'm really happy to have I've had this opportunity with IAC and with you, actually, with this panel, because it was full of amazing presentation, amazing people, extraordinary communicators from actually all over the world. We had Bahrain, so.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about this session. Session E1.6 about mass communication is an interesting session. So with that said, I hope to see you back at IAC 25 next year in Australia.
Oh, I hope so. I really want to see Australia, so.
That has a reason. That's a very selfish
but-
reason, which classifies you as your
As a
generation.
boomer, yes.
Very good.
I'm sorry.
Because I go to Australia because of IAC. I'm not going to go sightseeing. I don't have time for that. But that does.
I hope I'll be at IAC and then sightseeing. Maybe.
That's probably the best way to do it anyway. I'll probably do that too. So, but thank you, because I really think this is an important message that we need further research and further study. So again, thank you very much. We've been trying to close this video for the last 2 minutes, and we're going to close it now. So thank you, Chiara, and bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.